I'm back. I don't think I've ever tried doing this to my hair when I'm getting ready, but I just thought I would give it a shot today. So of course, really bare face of mine with under eye and God knows what else is going on, but yeah, and the dry skin stuff going on all year round. So I'm just gonna go ahead and moisturize my face with the Equate Beauty moisturizer, which I have been trying to use. I'm almost done with it. I have another moisturizer which I want to use, so but you know, this moisturizer lasted me a very long time. I believe it was because it was like 16 ounces. But yeah, today I am going to be using the Aphrodite Bad Habit palette because I think it deserves a tribute. I have not really, you know, been using it in the past couple of days as I have been trying out my newer Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes, but I do really like their formula. I mean, for 10 bucks, this is really good for someone like me who at the moment doesn't have a source of income and can't exactly, you know, like afford expensive makeup and have been a student for the past couple of days. Like, this is a really good palette or brand in general, just because not everyone can afford $50 eyeshadow palettes. I'm sorry, or 65. I think the Huda ones are 65. But this has some really pretty colors, and today I'm gonna go for a neutral look. However, because you guys, what it is that I have to go to, so my school that I attend, my nursing school, is affiliated with Cleveland Clinic, and I got an opportunity to volunteer at one of their sectors to screen patients. So that's what I will be doing this evening. So I want more of a neutral look. Although it's like 9 o'clock right now, I'm still gonna go ahead and put some makeup on so that I'm motivated to do some things around the house before I can leave, actually. And I think we have to dress up formally, I'm pretty sure, if we're gonna, like, you know, be in some sort of a clinical setting. I'm pretty sure we do have to be you know, partially dressed. Semi-formal is the term I'm looking for. Okay, I'm trying to look for my freaking eyeshadow primer, and I found it. So there are two different eyeshadow primers from Essence that I have. I have the I Love Color Intensify. That's what that looks like. And then I also have, you know, my classic I Love Stage eyeshadow base. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away. And nothing wrong with the primer. It's just the skin tone of it. It's like very pink tone. I obviously am brown, so this suits me a lot better than that one. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one, give it to someone, and we'll tell them that, you know, it's actually a pretty decent eyeshadow palette. So basically, you guys, I already finished my what is that thing called? My semester. I am halfway through the pre-licensure stage, which means that I should be sitting for the NCLEX next summer. Not this summer, next summer. I do get a break. Yeah, I do get a break this summer, but eventually, like in the next coming of days, I won't really have a break other than just like sitting for my license exam and waiting in the fall to be a family nurse practitioner student. So I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous that, you know, about moving forward. Like, I don't really know why I'm so nervous. Maybe I feel like there's still so much to learn, you know, and sometimes you just kind of feel that way. Just because I feel like this year went by really fast. I mean, there were some days where I was like, okay, it's obviously kind of boring, but yeah, it went by pretty fast, I would say. And yeah, it makes me a little nervous that I will be independent in a couple of days with patients, you know, but it is what it is. And the shade that I'm taking is Seduction, and it's this like brown one. That's what that looks like. So that's the shade I'm using. I know I look like a mess, you guys, but like I said, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm really excited yet nervous for the opportunities which are yet to come, but at the same time, I do want to move forward with my life. I do want to have a career, and I have been working extremely hard, you guys, for you know, to be in healthcare, not just right now, but like ever since undergrad. And I am really thankful to God that He's given me this opportunity. And I definitely have like what is it called? I definitely have adjusted more to like a bigger city life. I do live in a suburb, but like the traffic here can be a little crazy. I just avoid driving in the heavy traffic regions. But I do attend a Bible study now with other international students, so that really has been helping me. I know like in the beginning I wasn't really in a very good place, like mentally. I was a little bit sad because I had to move here, but now that I've made friends who are, you know, legitimate and who are more caring and not really two-faced is the term I should say, I am happy is what I'm trying to tell you guys. I will be going to Bath and Body Works this coming semi-annual sale, and I think what they're doing is that they're shortening the semi-annual sale. Don't quote me on that. I really am not too sure about that one, but that's what I have been hearing from YouTube. So I'm not quite sure how true that is, but that's what I've been hearing. Okay, so the next, okay, so other eyeshadow color that I actually used was the Passion one. That's this like really pretty muted nude type of or brown color, and now I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Euphoria, which is this gold shade at the bottom, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tap that on the top here. I know some people might not think that this is like a neutral look, but you guys, my makeup's gonna wear off eventually during the evening anyways. So, and I have to be at that clinic place at like 5 o'clock. So yeah, another update about my school is that, so we're affiliated with the Cleveland Clinic now because our whole campus is moving there. So the second half of my program, or well, I'm technically in 2 different programs. So there's this pre-licensure stage, which is a master's degree of its own, but I'm not really stopping there. Like I'm continuing on to, you know, like the MSN specialty, MSN meaning like advanced nursing specialty. So I still have to take the NCLEX, and then eventually I can move on to the advanced stuff, because MSN students are advanced nurses. So that's that. So you do have to sit for, you know, like the NCLEX and stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now. And a year from now, I should be ready to take it, according to the school. But yeah, I mean, we do practice exams. You guys, we started doing practice exams like way early. So, sorry, I had to take a sip of that coffee. But yeah, so that was it for my eye. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put the liner, probably just fast forward this portion. You guys know the deal, like it's not really that interesting. I mean, I don't really have a separate technique or anything. So this is just, I'm just gonna be using the Wet n Wild's Mega Liner. I'm probably also gonna do the under eye as well, but okay, you guys, to do my inner liner, I am going to be using the Wet n Wild's Mega Last eyeliner. That's what that looks like. Nothing really new. I mean, everyone knows that this has been around for a while. Some of my other eyeliners gave up on me, like they dried up on me, so I decided to just, you know, go ahead and get a new one. I do think I need like a newer liquid eyeliner, but I don't know. I'm just trying to use up the stuff that I have before I go ahead and like purchase anything else, because why does the camera look a little bit like weird? Let me just move that. Yeah, so I've been trying to, you know, use up the stuff that I have before I go crazy with makeup, because I tend to do that. And even with the declutter, I just like did like I got rid of some of my eyeshadow palettes, but even with that, I'm just kind of like, okay, I got rid of some and now I want to get some new ones, and I really have to like think about it, you know. So the struggle of like makeup is just too real. It's too real. Okay, I'm so sorry I keep taking the sip of coffee, you guys. Sometimes I just have to, because I need to be awake, you know. So I don't want to like fall asleep on you guys while I'm filming. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to my face, and in order to prime my face, I will be using my Essence Prime Studio HD Hydra Primer Spray. Very long name. And I don't really, I mean, like, this is hydrating, but it doesn't give you like the golden glow that a lot of people really with dull skin want. But because I am trying to get more of an everyday look, as I'm going, you know, to the clinic or whatever, I'm going to use this because I don't want to be too fancy smanchy. So what I'll do is I'll spray some on my hand, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and like rub it on my face. So just like a moisturizer, I put it instead of like directly spraying it on my face, because I just did my eyes and I don't want to like ruin it. Okay. And now I think I already combed my brows with this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and also fill in my eyebrows, because that's essential. And I'm not gonna use anything new, you guys. This is again the same product from Five Below. I still have the same product. I need to try newer eyebrow stuff, but I don't know what it is. I think it's because I am in professional school and I'm like living in an you know, I wouldn't say expensive city, but cities generally are, you know, more pricier, especially if you're like coming to a small town. And like I said, I don't really, you know, like I'm not really working. Like I did find a job, but it's more like doing research. It's 8 to 12 hours a week this month. Or not this month, but like this summer. She hasn't really emailed me back, so I don't really know what's going on with that, but I think I have it. And yeah, it's still not a lot. So, and it's through the school, and I don't know how much I will be getting paid, but it's certainly not enough to like, you know, carry the whole rent of the apartment or whatever. So yeah, I'm just trying to minimize the things that I use and how and where I spend my money. Like really, this is like really budget life. The only time I really shop is when, you know, I get some pocket money from my mom, and the Bath and Body Works at my annual sale, like I will save some money just for that, because it's my favorite store. I want to enjoy it twice a year, you know, so I try to do that. Like last year my situation was very different. I had my own money. I was taking care of like you know, my rent, all of my expenses. I really was not even asking my parents at all for any money, but now I'm having to, because, you know, like grad school and the job that I had last year, it didn't really like help me save anything. Like it wasn't like a profession. Hopefully once I'm like, you know, in this profession, like money would not really be an issue, hopefully. So yeah, regardless, even if I do have money, like a lot of money, I feel like I will still shop, like especially for like makeup and stuff like that. I would still do like dupe palettes and not yeah, dupe palettes and like affordable drugstore makeup. So I hope that primer has settled, and today the foundation that I will be using is this CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir, and that's what that looks like. This is not the shade I will be, well, this is the shade I will be mixing with the darker shade, which was a little too dark for me. And this is so this shade is Buff Beige. And if you're like, you know, lighter skin tone, this would be a good one. And then Warm Beige is this one. So I like mix them a little bit. So if you're my skin tone, you probably want to mix them a little bit, because like if you use Warm Beige by itself, it might make you look a little bit more on the orangey side. So what I do usually in order to mix them is I just kind of tap the Warm Beige shade like that, and very little of the other shade I take. So the Buff Beige, very little. I'll show you how much I take. So like really little, and then just like tap that. I know I need to clean these brushes. I do sanitize them, you guys, so don't judge me, don't judge me. Sometimes the stain doesn't come off, so I'm pretty sure I washed this one and the stain just like didn't come off. So that's that. I love this foundation, you guys. This is like the perfect foundation for dry skin. So I think I'm gonna have to fix that left eyebrow a little bit. My left, your right. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put some concealer on under my eye and then set that. So the concealer that I'm using is also from the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy line, and this is a lot lighter. This was the darkest shade I could find at my store, but it's okay to have concealers a little light, because for the under eye you want to brighten them anyways. And I'm having to sneeze, you guys, and I do have to fix that eyeliner a little bit. But as you can tell, I don't really have a fancy makeup routine. It's very simple, and I prefer it that way. I'm gonna go off camera and blow off my nose a little. All right, so I have my concealer. Now what I'm gonna do is set it with this e.l.f. It's like an under eye. Wow, it's really foggy outside, you guys. Sorry I get distracted like that sometimes. Holy crap, because I'm sitting in front of the window. Like, I think the last time I got really distracted was this one time this ambulance just was so loud and blaring. So I am like a mile away from hospital, so a really big hospital in Cleveland. So you see a lot of ambulance, or you hear a lot of ambulances going that way, and it was so blaring that one day, and it was coming like right towards my apartment, and I was like, is something going on in our apartment? But it wasn't. It was just another apartment complex where they had like an emergency. So yeah, so basically it just, I don't know, it was just funny, and not funny, it's not funny that someone is going, you know, to the hospital, but it was just like the loud was just like so alarming. So me just freaking out was funny, I guess. So yeah, in my hospital, like, I'm not really used to hearing ambulances. The reason being our walls, they don't really, they're kind of soundproof in a way. And also I deal with patients who have been through that ER phase, you know, so I've never like actually been in the emergency room. And as nursing students, especially in the Cleveland region, they don't really train you in emergency rooms because it's so intense and it's very difficult. So that's that. I mean, ideally I would like to be trained in those areas, but yeah, anyways, so let's just go ahead and contour. So the contouring palette that I'm going to be using is the e.l.f.'s contour palette. Nothing new, same old. And let's just go ahead and do that. I don't have a heavy contouring routine. It's just, you know, the usual. As you can tell, you guys, I don't really like, I really don't have a heavy makeup routine. I really just don't. I know people do all of the baking and all of that. I'm just kind of like, honestly, I'm a simple gal, whatever. Whatever you want to say. I'm just simple when it comes to, okay, maybe I'm not simple, but I do wear more makeup than the average person. But what I'm trying to say is I have my regular routine, and it hasn't really changed very much in the past couple of days, or years, I should say. The next thing that we're going to be doing is putting on highlighter. I want a subtle highlighter, but because this is like a tribute to Bad Habit, I am going to be using one of their highlighting palette, and this is the Rose Highlight Collection. This was also one of, I'm sorry about the stain. I don't know what really happened, but yeah, this one is the dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I don't know what the name is. I'll put the name down in the video. So I think that comes out on this side, not this side. I keep confusing myself. And the shade that I'm going to be using would be, I don't know, Bubbly. Let's go ahead with Bubbly. I'm going to be really subtle with this, you guys. Whoa, it's not really subtle, is it? It's probably gonna, you know, I really just had to tap that because I don't want like an overly blinding. You can kind of tell that it's, you know, it's there. And what I should have done was I should have like worn a blush before I did this step, but me being me, I totally forgot to do that. So we're gonna go grab a blush, any random blush, because I don't even think I have like new blush from Bad Habit or anything. I don't even know if they release any blushes, but I'm just gonna go with my City Color Be Matte blush. This is one of the blushes I've had for a really long time, trying to pan it, honestly speaking. So just subtly, I don't even know if you guys can tell, but I can tell somewhat. So this step, I mean, you obviously want to do before the highlight. I'm just stupid that totally forgot about it, but it's still okay. So I am back, and well, I was still there, just like fast forward everything. So the lipstick, or yeah, liquid lipstick that I will be wearing today is Barracuda, and it's their satin liquid lipstick by ColourPop, and the name just kind of rubbed itself off. And then I also have a lip liner from Wet n Wild, and it is their gel lip liner. I'm trying to find the shade. Lay Down the Mauves, and that's what that looks like. So as you kind of could tell, I do like you know, exfoliate. Like this morning I already exfoliated with the toothbrush, so that step was already done. And I do like exfoliating with my e.l.f. one as well. And usually I just kind of fill in my lips with my liner. This is not like an exact match, but this is probably like the closest thing I could personally find, and that's okay. I'm still also not done with like my mascara routine, not completely done, and I kind of want to mention the products that I used for that. I love this lip liner. It's just so pretty for everyday. Like, really. Yeah, sometimes I just wear this lip liner on its own just because it's so pretty, as you can tell. But today, since I already kind of mentioned this liquid lipstick, I am gonna go ahead and wear that as well. So what I didn't do earlier is actually put some highlighter on my forehead and also on the bridge of my nose, which I usually do. I just kind of remembered it, I don't know why, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that a little bit. Okay, woo, highlight is on point. Okay, you guys, so I am back. I didn't do anything to my hair, so I just kind of left it the way it is. But the mascara that I used, I could not find the Jordana mascara that I really like, but similar to that is the Voluminous Carbon Black by L'Oreal. Again, I know I love my L'Oreal mascaras, but I love this, and I went off camera and I did this. I also sprayed the setting spray by Ruby Kisses. It's the Never Touch Up setting spray, and I'm glad I used this one up because I do really like it. I feel like Ruby Kisses is kind of one of those, you know, like beauty supply brands which doesn't get hyped up on YouTube as much, but this makes me feel really refreshed. And you know, with dry skin, you want something like refreshing. So I hoped you guys like this get ready with me. I know I was like kind of all over the place, but hopefully the editing helps a little bit. Thank you so much for watching, and talk to you guys later. Bye.